Welcome to Lovin The Loveboat, a fond and funny look back on the world's greatest cruise ship-based television show. I'm Istvan, singer, songwriter, and TV fanatic.
And I'm Michelle, pop culture enthusiast.
Join us as we relive episodes of one of the most watched TV series of all time.
Occasionally deviating to pop culture charts unknown.
So come aboard, we're expecting you for another edition of
Lovin The Loveboat. Who said that?
Oh my lord. You guys, Michelle's very spot-on reference is about the person who I've been talking about for a very long time, and me being excited about his arrival on the Love Boat. That would be Billy Barty. We are here, finally, episode 35. It took us 35 episodes to get to Billy Barty, and kind of disappointed by the jokes like that Michelle just said, actually.
It's kind of like when Pat Moriarty was on. And
yeah,
they
Pat Moriarty? Who is Pat Moriarty? I do not know who this
name?
actor is. Pat Morita?
But Pat Morita cut. It was kind of like when Pat Morita was on and they were making him do all the Asian jokes.
Oh, yeah, when he was screwing up the references and things like that. That's the one really downfall of the show sometimes, where they have this running gag and the gag itself is not funny. And they make my main man, the guy was excited and still am excited about being on the ship, Billy Barty. They forced him to do this most of the time. They kind of cut it midway through. I mean, they didn't do it all the way through.
No.
But it was kind of heavy-handed throughout.
It sure was.
But guys, we're back. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And I'd like to get into it. But before we do, Michelle, did you enjoy, dislike? What did you think of this episode?
I liked it okay. It wasn't like mind-blowing or anything, but it was good. It was cute. Some of it was cute. Some of it was a little, we'll get into it when we talk about Julie. A little off-putting, as always. And then...
Oh, I love the Julie stuff because it gets, that's part
so
of the weirdness,
bad for
man.
her as an actress.
No, I have a whole bunch to share on Julie today. All right, well, let me give everyone the three storylines, and then we will set sail. First, we have Heads or Tails by Ann Gibbs and Joel Kimmel. Secondly, we have Mona of the Movies, written by Howard Albrecht and Saul Weinstein. And thirdly, we have The Little People, written by Barry Blitzer. Now, again, I'm psyched for Billy Barty, even though they made him do like this running gag that wasn't so hot. Who do we have besides the wonderful Billy Barty?
We have the wonderful Edward Albert as Doug Warren. He's Eddie Albert's son.
Oh, we have two Nepo babies on this
We
ship.
do. We do this time. Then we have Billy Barty, who you mentioned, as Ralph Warren, his father. Mm-hmm. Then we have Patty Maloney as Dottie Warren.
So, she's another person, no pun, please, you guys, loomed large in our childhood, at least mine.
Yeah.
And I think we mentioned her before from that famous, well, they're all famous to us, the Brady Bunch episode where Bobby tripped acid and then he thought like an alien.
She was the alien, you're right.
She was one of the, she had like big like orange hair. She was like in lots of things, but that is one of the ones that totally sticks out in my mind.
She was in the Sid and Marty Krofft show, but it wasn't like one of the more popular ones. Do you remember Far Out Space Nuts?
Step right up, you won't believe your eyes. What those far out space nuts.
She was in that too. And then we'll get into our other Nepo baby, Adam Arkin.
Yep.
As Alex Lambert.
Yes.
Then I have Orson Bean as Artie D'Angelo.
Why? That name is so familiar, Orson Bean, but I didn't know who that guy was, and he did not, he was not familiar to me by how he looked, Orson Bean.
No, but I guess it's another person who was in a lot of like movies and TV shows at the time. But then I was reading up on him, and during the 1950s, he was blacklisted because he was dating a communist. Well, another fun story if you want me to deviate even further.
What?
I guess then he was banned from the Ed Sullivan Show. But then at some point, they said that Ed Sullivan let him back on and said, I'm not going to be basically bullied by advertisers, because it was the advertisers that didn't want him on.
Is it insane that we are going back through garbage like this? I am so stunned and so appalled by so much. It's unbelievable. And it's all performative. It's all just absolute trash. Oh my gosh, this is not a place for this. Now you're dragging me down a terrible, terrible corridor of the ship.
Well, it is true, though. I mean, this is happening now. Maybe it's always been happening, but now it's very prominent again.
Oh, it's so dumb. Poor
so
Orson
dumb.
Bean. Well, I'm down with Orson Bean.
Yeah,
man.
he was a pretty good actor, I thought. And then we have Rhonda Fleming as Mona Maxwell.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
She's just one of 4 actresses I learned dubbed the Queen of Technicolor. Also, she had 6 husbands.
Wow. Were they communists?
I don't know, doubtful. Then we have, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Richard Gilliland. as Wally Fontaine.
That's all that matters is the Wally Fontaine. That name stood out to me when he introduced himself as Wally Fontaine. One of my favorite names that they've come up with on the show.
Could be your alias. Then we have Patty McCormick as Beth Donaldson, the feisty Beth Donaldson.
Wait, Patty McCormick, was she the one who was going after the guy with the little people parents?
Yes. Well, she's still around, and she's still acting. And did you ever see The Bad Seed?
Give me those shoes back.
Oh, no, I got them shoes hid where nobody but me can find them.
What's that?
I think it's maybe from the 50s, about a really horrible little girl. She's the bad seed.
Oh, no, I got to check that out.
Yeah, they said it's the first ever evil child in a movie.
Oh, that sounds
You never
great.
saw The Bad Seed?
Maybe, you know what?
She's like a blonde little girl, and she's basically murderous.
Every day, more memories slip away from me, and I'm happily becoming like, just talk to anybody randomly as I walk down the street about Love Boat episodes.
Well, I had no idea she was that actress, so I thought that was like super interesting.
No, I'd have to see it, but I did like her manic character on this episode.
She
See, the
really
more I
was.
think about it, I really did like this episode. This is a crazy episode. I enjoyed it. It was nuts. Well, let me just put on my 1970s super high jogging shorts and let's get right into this cruise.
I'm going to jump ahead to this jogging part since you just brought it up.
Wait, don't. Hey,
Okay.
hold on to that thought if you
Okay.
can, please.
I will.
Because we just need to meet the people as they come on. I like to meet everyone as they enter the
Sure.
ship. And the first person that we have is a woman with 6 former husbands. On the show, she is known as Mona Maxwell. And she's like a former, what was she, like a musical star or sign it like television musical
Yeah,
type
like
person?
an actress, probably not too far off from what she was in real life.
Yeah, and so everybody's excited because she's like a celebrity, and she comes onto the ship every year, like it's a yearly thing for her, and everyone's very excited.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like a yearly thing. But I didn't
Yeah.
see her last year and last season.
Yeah, maybe they made that up. It's not real, Michelle.
I
It's
know.
not real.
You know, I'm very literal.
But she's there, and she is signing autographs.
are. Ooh, and there you are. And as much as I'm loving this, I'm really going to have to check in.
Oh, please, Miss Maxwell. I've seen every one of your movies.
Oh, how brave of you. I ought to get your autograph.
And after that, she is whisked away by the captain to say hi, almost like family in a way, to the entire crew.
Miss Maxwell,
Oh, Meryl.
welcome back. The princess always sails better when there's a queen on board.
Now, I didn't know your ship was equipped with a Blarney stove. Adam.
Mulder, if your beauty gets any more dazzling, I'm going to have to wear dark glasses.
Now, no matter what you say, I'm not going to marry you. But meet me later and we'll talk about fooling around.
Ah, and here are some more old friends.
Oh, Isaac, my favorite bartender.
Welcome back, Miss Maxwell.
Thank you, and Julie.
Hi, welcome back. I see we have booked an entire boatload of your admirers.
Oh, dear. They keep showing those old musicals of mine on the Late Show. I must be responsible for the sale of 1 million Slice-O-Matics.
And then off in the distance, Michelle, a guy who now is like heroic to me, Mr. Orson Bean. He's a mechanic, just a regular dude. He likes to drink beer, go bowling.
Play poker.
He is starstruck, but it's weird. I didn't like when he said she was my idol. That's kind of a strange thing, your idol.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because they seem like kind of the same age, really, in a way. And
Absolutely.
it's like, it just was an odd thing for him to call her. But he's sort of like waiting in the wings or admiring her from afar because he's very nervous, as you would imagine. And Doc Super is like wingman out of control on this episode.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy how he took him under his wing, literally, to get him together with her.
Yeah, pep talking him into Miss Mona Maxwell's life. Michelle, there are 2 little people with very big personalities, and they are next in line.
Cracking short jokes right off the bat.
Yes, unfortunately. But the entire thing of this was one of the things that we've been talking about is like that this show kind of being ahead of its time in a way, or at least maybe up with the times, because they are just trying to show these people as regular people. And obviously the cornball jokes are a defense mechanism in a way, or a way to disarm people. Mm-hmm. So they aren't afraid to just interact with them. So I get that, and that's why I gave them a pass on the corny jokes.
Sure. You always got to have that like comedic couple almost every episode, and that is them.
And they kind of did it nice because there's something far more serious and sweet to their story, which is also kind of nice about this. And man, they really dressed that Billy Barty up pretty nicely in some dapper clothing, didn't you think?
He had some really cute suits.
Yeah. So these two guys come on.
Hey, nice boat. Real nice boat. Tell me, Dottie, how does this compare to the Mayflower?
Oh, stop. Well, try to act respectable, at least for our anniversary.
Hello. I'm Yeoman Purser Smith. I'm here to check you in. We're the Warrens, and I'm here to check her out.
Excuse my husband, Mr. Smith. He's a little crazy.
Who said little?
And you'd think that would be enough, but it isn't.
No.
Because there is a reveal right from the beginning that they are on a cruise with their son, who is a regular-sized person.
Correct.
Hey, what took you so long, Shorty?
Well, I've had to catch up with the bags. What'd you guys do? Pack for a trip around the world?
You know I never do things in a small way.
Who said small? This is our son, Doug.
Oh, hi. Well, let's see. Warren, you've got adjoining cabins on Fiesta Deck, 287, 289.
Son, I can't thank you enough. What a wonderful way to spend our silver anniversary.
It's something I've wanted to do for a long time.
And truly devoted to his parents.
He's a very good son.
He really is.
Because, yes, he's taking them on this cruise for a 25th wedding anniversary gift. But then, Michelle, your favorite thing on Earth happens, which is the coincidental bump-in.
Right.
So who does he bump into?
A woman from the office building.
Sexy lady that he's been like flirting with, just with glances and smiles on the elevator in the building, the spelling building maybe that they work in. I can't remember. But this very intense. I feel she's a murderer, quite honestly, the way that she acts
Super pushy.
throughout this. But, she's kind of hot, so we're going to let it slide. But these two guys bump into one another.
Your parents are a kick.
Yeah, they are the greatest.
Hi.
Hello.
You're,
Oh, I know you. The elevator at the spelling building.
right, you get off at the 16th floor, I get off at the 25th. Hi, Doug Warren, stockbroker.
Beth Donaldson, advertising.
Gopher Smith, shipping.
Isn't it amazing? After a year of just sort of nodding to each other and everything on the elevator, we finally get a chance to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bags, but I'll see you later, yeah?
Oh, you bet you will.
Yeah, okay. Glad to see you.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of pushy,
Yes.
let's lead into the two fellas that come on after that.
The Roofie brothers?
Alan Arkin and Richard Gilliand. Alex and Wally.
Yeah, but these two hot dudes come onto the ship, kind of razzing one another.
Yeah, always competing.
And it's like, as soon as they set foot on ship, their lady radar goes off, and they both hone in on the lovely Julie.
Oh, poor Julie.
Hi, doll. What's your sign?
Julie McCoy, cruise director.
Pay no attention to this buffoon. You and I can make beautiful music together.
What, and put your monkey out of work?
I love a girl with a sense of humor.
I love a guy with an original line.
Pardon me, gentlemen. May I have your names, please?
Alex Lambert, at your service, miss.
Wally Fontaine.
Oh, yes. You're on the Fiesta Deck, cabin 264. Happy cruising.
I'll see you later, just as soon as I get rid of the excess baggage.
My cabin, as soon as I dump my father.
The pushy fellas are in their cabin. I'm surprised they're not getting into their pajamas, but they are discussing Julie and fighting over basically who's going to hook up with her, as if that's already something that's going to happen. So they decide to make a bet about who she will go with.
All right, okay. I got a very important decision here. Which threads will Julie prefer when I sweep her off her feet at dinner tonight?
You couldn't sweep her off her feet if you were a broom.
Oh, no? Well, watch me and learn from a master.
$1,000 says I'm the one she falls for first.
$1,000, Wally? You can't afford to lose that kind of money. I'll make it easy for you. Let's make it 500.
Yeah, I'm your buddy. I can't take 500 from you don't have. I'll settle for $12.
I'll tell you what. Let's keep things in your league. Make it a pizza.
With anchovies?
You're on, right.
And not only did they decide on just betting a pizza, but a disgusting pizza with anchovies.
Well, I mean, how dare you say that? Maybe some people really love anchovies. Maybe that's exotic. I think we know there's many debates about pineapple being acceptable on pizza, and some people, I think, really, truly loving that. I'm sure on the ship they would have a pineapple ham pizza.
Well, that's usually how it goes. It is a Hawaiian pizza.
I think the little people were actually eating the pineapple and ham at some point on the ship. I think I noticed them eating that as a snack. But Artie what's his name? DeAngelico? He's like getting hammered because he's so sad. He's very emotional. And then Doc is, again, hovering around trying to get this guy lucky with this film star. Isaac is helping out too, and they're both like kind of like encouraging him to go talk to her because she's just like a regular person.
But also, did you catch that he's Isaac's mechanic?
Yeah, because they worked it in with the screwdriver because that's what he requested, yes, and he recognized him.
But he's not really a failure. He's not just a mechanic. He owns 5 shops.
Yeah, he owns Toontown.
It's pretty
Tune-Up
successful.
Town, I think.
Yeah, Tune-Up Town.
He's the mayor of Tune-Up Town.
It's pretty successful, if you ask me.
It is. He's got nothing to be like ashamed of. And he's a successful guy. And so it's like then they send him over. Or no, I can't remember. Like, I think like they definitely make a date for dinner.
Oh, hi, Miss Maxwell. Isaac, one of your notorious pina coladas, please.
Oh, I'll bring it right over.
Great. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I see you two are finally speaking.
Ah, yes, he sent me a dozen roses and I just couldn't stay mad.
I'm talking about you and Mona Maxwell.
I don't know what came over me in the lobby there. I mean, I didn't have anything to say. She's been my idol for years, and I'm just an ordinary schmo.
Oh, look, she made a couple of movies, but I'll bet if you ask her to dinner tonight, she'd probably say yes.
What?
Yeah.
Would you like to have dinner with her?
Yeah, but I'm sure she's busy.
Oh, I'll go find out.
No, Isaac!
Oh, thank you.
Miss Maxwell, my friend Mr. D'Angelo would like to know if he could have the pleasure of dining with you tonight.
Tell Mr. D'Angelo that I'd be delighted.
Did you notice, though, because a lot of this is taking place around the pool, Edward Albert, Billy Barty, and Patty Maloney, when they're all at the pool, how close Edward Albert was to the ladder of the pool?
I did not notice that, no.
He was like right up against the ladder. So like when people were coming out of the pool, they were like getting water on him.
Oh, I didn't notice that at all.
He was like right up against the ladder.
Michelle, you've already mentioned that the son is very devoted and that he has spent some serious cash. Because what was he? Was he like a stockbroker?
Something.
Wasn't that his job? Not something. It either is or he is not.
I don't remember. It's
he
either
is
that
something.
or he's like an advertising.
No, the woman was in advertising.
Oh, okay.
So I think he was a stockbroker in the same building. So he's making a good living.
Sure is.
He's got really long hair on the sides and in the back and then swoop back on the top. I kind of like that hairdo.
Crazy eyes.
Yeah, very intense.
Yeah.
Very intense. Very like soulful eyes, I thought. And he also was dressed like Where's Waldo for half of the ship, if you noticed, in a big horizontally striped red and white sort of like sweater.
His cruise lounge wear.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool choice because you really notice him then. And it's like he is spending so much time with his parents, maybe a little too much, and they think it's time for the bird to leave the nest.
Mamma mia! I like to be around when she reaches puberty.
Just do it, Ralph. She's not your type.
She is if you give me a boost. Who said that?
How did you put up with him for 25 years?
What could I do? It was either him or Mickey Rooney.
Hey, Doc. The ship's crowded with portraiture. What are you hanging around us?
Because I want to. I mean, this is for you.
But that doesn't mean you can't have a good time. I think we're inhibiting you.
In that case, how about a game of shuffleboard?
Great idea.
And don't give me the short end of the stick. Who said that?
I didn't.
I also super appreciated him and the woman who played his mother. They had a really good interaction between each other, I thought, throughout
Yeah, it was
the whole
cute.
show.
I totally agree. She was great. She was like sweet, and she played a nice, kind mom.
She did.
And tolerant because the husband's kind of like a loose cannon wild man, and she kind of keeps it all together, it seems. Like she's the glue that keeps that whole thing together.
Definitely.
But it was very nice.
Mm-hmm. You've been led to believe that things are going really well between the mechanic and the actress.
Because they are.
Because she accepted his dinner invitation, which he was shocked about.
And she wasn't put off by his awkwardness initially.
No.
She's a cool lady.
She is.
But
as he's getting ready in his ruffled tux.
Yeah.
There's a knock at the door. She has to, what was it? She had to go with the captain and meet some investors or something?
Let Mona tell you, please.
Okay.
That's a very beautiful dress you have on, Miss Maxwell. Or may I call you...
Oh, Mr. D'Angelo, I'm so sorry, but Captain Stubing reminded me that I'd promised to have dinner with him tonight. He's entertaining some bigwigs from the shipping line, and, well, I guess they wanted to meet me. Can we make it another time?
Oh, sure. We'll make it another time.
Thank you, and I'm sorry for such short notice.
Hey, look, I know how it is. How it is I'm a jerk.
And this guy is unstable emotionally.
Right. He got so upset and took it so personally.
Oh my gosh, she's like a child. And it's like, calm down. Like, she came to your room, like, you're talking to this person. Any interaction is gravy.
Right.
You know, for the mayor of Tune-Up Town.
Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, so he's about to like cry into his ruffles. And it's like, she's popular. So it's like, you have to understand that. But he is very distraught.
He really is. I think I would like to go to, like, later on, I believe this evening, like, the disco lounge.
Yeah, there's some hot disco playing.
Oh, my goodness.
I liked it.
I loved it. I thought the music was some of the best disco music of all the episodes so far.
I would hang out in that lounge all night long.
I would too. And I wish there was like an album of their music.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great. We need to look. Maybe they did release that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that would be fantastic.
You should look that up. You're the person to be looking that up.
Yeah, I should, because that music was really good.
And that's where like a little bit of a swap takes place, right?
Oh, yeah, because how about, did you catch that line?
What line?
Trip the light Travolta.
I hated that line so much. I really did. Coming out of that Arkin's doughy face, it really bothered me.
This character bothered me the whole time.
It's not Arkin's fault, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, he just didn't cut it in that part.
Well, I thank you for dinner. I had a lovely time.
My pleasure, Julie. I don't understand one thing, however. How can you go from champagne and caviar to chopped liver?
Well, Julie, the mercy date is over for the evening. Prince Charming is here to dance the night away.
See you later, honey. I will leave a light in my porthole.
Your friend's a clown.
Yeah, laughing on the outside and weeping on the inside. Poor guy.
Really? Why's that?
Well, listen, don't tell him I told you this, but he's miserable. He wanted to bring his fiancée on this trip with him, but she had to stay home and work, They're saving every penny they have for the honeymoon. And I gave him this trip as sort of a pre-wedding present.
Oh, you gave him this trip?
Yeah, well, a single guy like me, who have I got to spend my money on, except my friends and my girl, if I had a girl.
Isn't that strange? He told me that he brought you on this cruise.
Yeah, well, like you say, he's a crazy clown. Listen, shall we trip the light Travolta?
Sure.
The one thing disco music doesn't have power to heal, Michelle?
What?
The shock of a woman when she sees two little people sitting at the bar.
Ugh.
And it completely rattles her to her core because she has the horrific thought that if she were to ever procreate, one of her children could be small. And so she kind of needs to get fresh air. And so her and Where's Waldo, the stockbroking son, they go to one of our favorite parts of the ship, the bow, where there's always a serious conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry I acted like such an idiot about those little people.
You weren't an idiot. Anybody can get uptight when they see someone different from themselves. It's easily overcome. All you need is a chance to meet them.
I guess I have this deep-seated fear that maybe a child of mine could turn out like that.
Beth, those little people
are in there, and we're out here.
We should try that in an elevator sometime.
There's a lot of things we should try.
Not in an elevator.
And is this woman already, I can't remember now, was she already like throwing out the idea of having many children with him already?
I think she does. She's already...
Guys love that when you like throw the idea of having a huge family, I think, right? Or
Right.
at least in the 70s and 80s, that's what guys really were attracted to.
But she still doesn't know, obviously, that those are his parents yet. So I thought it was odd that she was not complaining, but saying like she wouldn't want to have little people children.
This part I was all screwed up because we had watched these before, some of these, earlier before we ever even had, the inkling that we were going to do the podcast. And I couldn't remember exactly what happened, and I remembered it wrong, thinking this woman was way worse and meaner about all this. And the thing that threw me is that the son starts kind of like changing himself because of her reaction, because he likes her.
Oh, yeah, and he won't introduce her to the parents.
Yeah, then he was starting to get like a little like maybe not embarrassed per se, but he didn't want to jeopardize maybe the relationship with this woman and reveal that like these were his parents. That was kind of a bummer to me, but made it kind of a better episode.
A little dramatic.
Yeah, it's kind of good.
A not so romantic session out on the deck, which is another famous, not a famous, but another spot they like to use at night on this. Because remember, that's where was it the plumber? He was lurking under the stairs in that one episode.
Yeah.
Julie and Adam Arkin are out on the deck, and he's getting all pushy and grabby, and then she plays a trick on him.
Lovely evening, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is.
Well, so much for small talk.
I came out here for some fresh air.
I'm crazy about you, Julie.
Well, that's nice, Alex, but a girl likes to be romanced.
Oh, yeah. Julie, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Your eyes, Julie, your eyes are like limpid pools of sapphires.
Alex.
I must have you. If I can't, I'll throw myself overboard.
Have a nice swim.
I love you, Julie. I'm crazy about you. I need you.
Well, Alex, there are right and wrong ways to go about these things. Now just follow me, okay? First, we close our eyes. Oh.
They're closed.
Next, we pucker up. Now, count to 5. And when you reach 5, put your arms around me and kiss me.
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thought that was pretty sneaky, and it was pretty not nice to watch his lips all puckering up like that.
Yeah, it was weird, but he did it good.
He did.
And it was funny because that's what I like is when things are
hokey.
Yeah, less rapey, more funny. That's my like sort of like that's my go-to
for the Love Boat.
Less rape,
more hoke. I'm gonna get you coffee mug.
Yeah, and Julie, like she's I'm sure she's very skilled at having to find clever ways to get away from potential molesters, and
it happens almost every episode to her.
Yeah, it really does. It's really got to be tough being a woman.
Sure is.
Well, unless you're the psychopath advertising lady, because then she just
she was the opposite. She was doing the aggression like moves on him.
Yeah, she comes at you really hard.
She was super pushy. So I mean, I guess they had both sides of the spectrum then.
Yeah, because she is making a hard move for this dude, and then he is liking her right away too, and then because of all this and because of her reaction to the parents, he starts acting strange around his parents.
Sorry I'm late for breakfast, but I slept in.
That's funny. We went by your room to pick me up this morning, and there was no answer. Don Juan strikes again?
Leave him alone, Ralph. Do you like her?
I'm nuts about it. There's some problems, though, but...
Well, there's always problems. When I think of what your mother and I went through, it took her months before she bought me a ring.
I can hardly wait to meet Beth. You did invite her to our anniversary party tonight.
Not yet, no.
Why don't you invite her to have lunch with us, and we'll invite her to the party.
Okay, but if we don't show up, you guys go on ahead without us, okay? Okay.
What's with him?
Nothing. He's got to leave the nest sooner or later.
Did it ever occur to you he could be ashamed of us?
I don't believe that for a minute. And neither do you.
No, I don't. But just to be on the safe side, Let's grow between now and lunchtime.
Michelle, I also was enamored with the disco dancing on the ship, just like you were, the disco music.
Mm-hmm.
And during this point, sad sack Artie, he's sitting at the bar, and then Mona, she's cool. And she comes up and she asks him to dance. But prior to that, if you recall, he's like, I know this song. And it made no sense because it was like a disco song. And it's like, this is the song that she danced to in whatever movie,
Mm-hmm.
That made no sense. And then they go onto the dance floor and it sounded more like a song that would have been in like an older movie or something.
Right,
So
it kind of totally changed tempo.
Hey, do you hear that song? She danced with Gene Kelly to that song. And what was the name of the movie?
Shall we dance?
Gene Kelly wasn't in Shall We? It's you. Hi.
Hi. Well, I'm asking you to dance.
Are you sure?
Well, of course I'm sure, Mr. D'Angelo. May I call you Artie?
I think sometimes they were a little sloppy with some of the way that these things happen. But again, we always defend old sitcoms and shows because they cranked out so many episodes in a season, whereas nowadays it's like you're lucky to get 8 episodes out of a season. And back then they were shooting like 28 or 32 or whatever it was. So it's just like they had to kind of move this stuff along. But those two do go out on the dance floor and they're starting to really get to know each other and like each other. And then after that, they head back to Artie's room.
Yeah.
And he thinks that it's just going to be like, good night. But Mona kind of does a bit of a Mae West.
She does.
And asks if he's going to invite her in. And then what happens, Michelle?
Captain comes along with a group of rowdy partiers.
Captain Cockblock comes along.
And invites her to his room for a nightcap.
Yeah, and he screws the whole thing up. And Artie, being the baby that he is, he doesn't just go along with him. He goes in his room and sulks again.
Oh, you're such a wonderful dancer.
I'm no Gene Kelly.
No, you're not, but then he's no Artie D'Angelo. Oh, you have never told me what you do.
What's to tell? I own a string of auto shops. It's called Tune-Up Town. I'm sort of the mayor. And I play poker with the boys once a week, and I go to the Laker games, all of those. But that wouldn't interest you.
If they had a couple of forwards that could shoot, they'd win a lot more games.
You're a fan?
Oh, you know it.
Hey, look, this is where this is my room. So I don't want to take up any more of your time, so I'll just say goodnight.
Artie, let's get something straight. You are not taking up my time. I enjoy your company. Now, why don't you invite me in for a nightcap?
You're kidding.
Mona! I'm glad I caught you. We're going to my cabin for a nightcap. Won't you join us? Both of you.
Come. That's okay. Why don't you just go along with your friends?
Oh, no, not unless you come too.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Promise?
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
All right, but don't be long.
I thought that was weird again, too. Why would he not just go with them? It's not like the captain had 2 people with him.
Artie's unstable. This guy is emotionally immature.
He really is.
And again, she's digging him, and he could see right in front of his face that was just something, he's going to blow this with her.
Absolutely.
So he goes back and cries into his pillow.
Everything's falling apart for everybody, pretty much.
Yeah. Sun comes up. You think everything's so great on a cruise. Not the case.
Nope.
You're sitting there crying into your Bloody Mary. And then Doc comes up like he's like a high school girl asking for deets on his relationship with Mona, all excited and giddy. And then Isaac comes over too and is talking with him. And Sad Sack has nothing to share with these guys. And then Miss Maxwell comes along, and it was a pretty funny part. I thought it was great.
So what? So you spent the evening with the girl of your dreams. You held her in your arms and danced the night away. Are you happy? Sad? Fed up? In love? Disgusted? Or none of the above?
I had a great time until...
Good morning, Miss Maxwell.
Morning, Miss M.
Morning, Doc.
Morning, Miss Maxwell.
Morning, Isaac.
Morning, Mona.
Drop dead, Mr. D'Angelo.
That's the Love Boat I love, Michelle. Where she
blew
tells Mr. D'Angelo to drop dead. fantastic. She did a great job. She was an attractive woman, too.
She was. She really was. Well, if he wasn't such a baby, he deserved it. But then I thought it was like interesting later than when she's sitting with the captain and some strangers telling stories.
The horse story.
Yeah, which I didn't even understand.
No, I love that because that's when the captain gets all giddy, like he's so starstruck and he's in his element. He's so happy and excited.
He orders them a giant drink and a giant clamshell.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I think that's great. But he was having a blast in the bar. Oh, and that's when like D'Angelo comes up, right?
Right,
Says,
that's what
"Can
I'm.
we talk?"
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've been stood up. I may not be box office anymore, but this is ridiculous.
Look, I didn't mean to stand you up. I just thought you'd rather be with your friends.
I only went to the captain's party because I thought you would join me.
Really?
Really? Would you like it engraved in marble?
I'm sorry.
Now, are we going to have a Mexican dinner in town tonight or not? Because if we are, I have about 30 invitations to cancel.
Well, I wouldn't want you to disappoint anybody.
Artie!
Okay, we're having dinner.
Gee, thanks a lot.
Well, things are heating up for them again. Things are cooling down.
Wait, who's cooling down?
That would be the pushy Beth.
Yeah, this was all confusing because then all of a sudden, wham, bam, no thank you, ma'am. He's like, this is not going to work between us.
Oh, come in. It's open. Hi. Well, I'm ready for lunch. How do I look? Aren't I the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? Oh, I know. Too pushy. Oh, but I don't care. I've decided to have 16 kids, and every one of them's going to look just like you. How's that for pushy?
Beth,
Hey, I'm trying to tell you that I love you.
look. Beth, this was all a mistake. Let's just forget about us, okay?
What? No.
I'm really sorry.
Hey, what did I do? Don't go.
And she is just like blindsided.
She was, because she has no idea what she still doesn't know who his parents are. So she has no idea why he broke things off with her.
She's already put a bid on a 16-bedroom house for all of their children that they're going to have. And it's like she was good to go. Like she was setting up wedding plans and everything like that. And all of a sudden, Waldo disappears. She doesn't know what to do. So where do you go? You head to the Pirates Cove.
Absolutely.
You find our favorite candle holder sitting there. It's almost sad that it's just sitting on a table all by itself. It's the weirdest thing that it's still showing up in almost every single episode. I hope it continues forever, but I know it's going to stop at some point. I'm going to be bummed. But she goes there, and the little people are getting hammered on this cruise.
It's their anniversary.
Oh, yeah, they're living it up. They're having a great time.
They notice she's kind of sad, so they start a conversation with her.
This is kind of a cool scene in a way.
I thought so.
Because a ton gets revealed, and she puts two and two together that these are, in fact, this Doug guy's parents.
Hi. I know it's easy to overlook us, but I don't know why I've overlooked you. You're the second most beautiful girl on board. Dottie's number one.
Ralph, are you floating again? Try to pick on someone your own size.
Who said that?
Excuse me, I really have to go.
Pardon me, but you look like you just lost your best friend.
Well, I did. I guess he wasn't my best friend.
A boyfriend?
Kinda. Yeah, he dropped me just like that, and I don't know why. I guess maybe I came on too strong.
Here we go, 2 pina coladas and a brand new heart.
Maybe he just got cold feet. Remember how it was with us, honey?
Uh-huh. We already set the wedding date, and then one day I panicked.
Why?
Well, being little, we wondered, well, you know, about kids and everything.
Maybe that's what scared him off. I was talking about kids. 16 of them.
16? You'd better have a pretty good diaper service.
Did you have kids?
Oh, yes, we have 2. A beautiful married daughter, compact size like us. Then there's our son.
The Jolly Green Giant. A wonderful boy. And in fact, if he had met someone, I'd like to introduce you to him.
Well, if I hadn't met someone, I'd take you up on it.
Listen, this fella you care about, don't you give up on him without a fight. Why, I stuck to Ralph like glue, and so far it's lasted.
25 years to date.
Oh, 25 years. bring you on board to celebrate your anniversary?
He sure did.
Oh. Well, then I will take your advice. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're wonderful people.
No, just people.
And then after she leaves, they also determine that she is the woman that he's been seeing.
Yeah, I love this scene because they turn around. It's such a great framed shot of the two of them just drinking their drinks, and there's like 17 different expressions that they do. I took a photo of this.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. I loved it so
They were
much.
cute together, though.
I loved them. No, I was so excited about these guys being on the ship. I couldn't wait. I wish they were on every single cruise.
Absolutely.
I like them a lot. But like they basically turned the tides for the sun.
Yep.
Without even knowing it, because they're just really, really nice people. And that is the deeper element of this, right?
Right.
Because that's what they say, that the mom says. She says, we're just people. And again, it's just like showing different walks of life, different types of people. And they, I thought they did a great job with that on this. I thought it was really cool. Michelle, do you ever have guys like trying to like win a bet to like, you know, win you over?
No, never.
No?
No.
Well, there's still time. I'm sure that
don't
will
think
still
so.
happen at some point.
I'm sure I'm worth the pizza at least.
That would make you proud because you love
Sure,
pizza
I do
so
love pizza.
much.
That's why it wouldn't be terrible.
You love pizza. But like these dudes, they went from like I think kind of really liking Julie to then where the bet took precedence, and then they're both just acting like absolute maniacs. They're lying left and right about the other one.
Correct.
To undersell the other guy and, you know, tip the scales in their favor. And then wait, Arkin basically really does like just pounce on top of her.
Yeah, she is back in his cabin, and he's just...
Oh, he faked an injury, a ping pong injury.
Oh, that's right, a ping pong injury, and she's helping him back. Like, yeah, she should have just taken him straight to dock, not back to his cabin.
You would think that the red flags would have been there for her, that she would have been savvy knowing that this is kind of a trap, but sometimes you let your guard down.
Yeah, she's just very nice, and he took advantage of that.
Yeah, throws her on the bed, starts trying to like make out with her, and then the other roommate comes in.
And then he just blows the whole roof.
Ooh, I feel like such a klutz. Turning my ankle playing ping pong.
Well, I still think you should see Doc.
No, what I really need is to just get off it.
Here, give me the key and I'll open the door. Lean on me. Careful. Whoa. Wait, let me close the door. It's good. What are you doing?
I'm kissing you.
Well, what about your ankle?
There's nothing wrong with my ankle. It's my heart.
No,
Wally, don't you knock?
Congratulations, you win the bet. The bet. You win the bet.
You said bet. What bet?
No, he said bed. He said bed. Didn't you?
Alex, come on. What's the sense of going on with this little ruse? We did have a bet.
About what?
You. We had a bet to see which one of us would... I'm so ashamed. You're also a jerk.
Bet I was a bet? I can't believe this. The two of you, you and he and... Oh.
You're upset.
I'd be mad too.
But it's anchovies. Oh, you don't like anchovies, so you would have been insulted.
Can't imagine what that would taste like on pizza. I mean, maybe salty. But everything is ruined. Their plans are ruined because Julie is upset now.
Yeah, and then she does not accept, like, they both try to apologize to her afterwards. And I thought that that was going to be the end of it. But because this is somewhat of a baffling episode, it was not. She was not accepting their apologies. And then, Michelle, this episode, Julie is a fascinating person.
She really is.
I cannot figure her out still to this day. Again, we have covered that she has a fascination and she is attracted to older men. I do believe that that's why this also was not working out so smoothly initially, because these men were far younger than she prefers. But then after all of this, without any sort of indication or explanation, she changes her whole entire tune and then likes these guys. And then it starts to like indicate that there's going to be some sort of weird pizza party three-way.
I thought that was so weird.
I don't understand it. I have no explanation or theories as to what happened.
Because at first I thought, oh, she's just setting him up and then she's going to do something like kind of mean-spirited at them to get back at them, but then she didn't.
No, because she was mad, and then all of a sudden she's like, you guys, you're all right with me. And then even as they leave the ship, she's going to take them out for pizza.
Right.
Julie, you finished work yet?
Just about. Gopher, would you please take care of the rest of the passengers for me?
Where are you going?
To get a pizza, my treat.
With anchovies.
Anchovies, sausage.
All right, anchovies, sausage, and onions.
Anchovy, sausage, onions, and green pepper.
No green pepper.
I want green pepper.
I want thick crust.
All right, anchovy, sausage, onions, green pepper.
Let's forget the pizza and eat Chinese.
Maybe I have a theory on Julie.
Yeah.
Maybe the spirit of a 25th anniversary of two very special people rubbed off on Julie, and she realized that maybe it could be her future, but with just two husbands. They will move to Utah together. No, it doesn't work. It's always the other way where guys get a lot of wives. You don't get it the other way around. Maybe she'd be a trendsetter.
Could be.
And so she decides, but that is the thing. The spirit of this anniversary has changed her tune on these guys.
Could be.
And that's what happens is in Disco Lounge, Beth comes in. I don't remember what happens with those two.
The son was sitting with the parents, and he's kind of being sulky a little bit.
All out to the 17th floor, including all stockbrokers and their wives. I know. Too pushy. Look, I got a couple of pieces of good advice this afternoon. The first was that the only way to fix a broken heart was to turn it into a banana daiquiri. The second was, if you find a guy you're madly in love with, stick to him like glue, no matter what. I'm sticking.
Okay, and there's something you gotta know. You see those two small people dancing over there? They're my folks. And they are the two most wonderful people in the world.
I know. You know what else? I'm not going to stop bugging you until it's our 25th anniversary. Now, do me a favor, huh? Pour me a little champagne.
Well, now she could have her 16 children.
Yeah, she can do that. They can go back and
have their 25th wedding anniversary on a cruise someday.
You know, you think like kind of like the oddness and the weirdness would be over, but it isn't.
No.
Because Artie, the mechanic, ultimately does get the movie star back to his room. They bone.
Ugh.
Yeah. And the movie star was a little nervous about it because she's just a regular woman. She doesn't want to let him down. And then, you know, it's morning after, and then she's leaving. And they have one of the weirdest scenes, I think, that we've seen thus far. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, refresh.
Well, it's like they're after the day after, you know, and it's like she's, you know, this could be the walk of shame for some people.
Exactly.
And he's thinking that like this is just like this one-time thing.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's just like a regular dude. So there's a lot of miscommunication here. And what she's taking it as is that he thinks that she's some sort of floozy who's, you know, accustomed to one-night stands, and then she changes like her emotions so fast in the scene that it was disorienting to me.
How am I going to get back to my room without everybody pointing? It's obvious I haven't been there all night.
I'll lend you one of my suits.
Wrong size.
Here, you can have my pajamas.
Oh, it won't match my shoes and bag. Oh, Artie, you're great.
The feeling is mutual. I'm never going to forget you, Mama.
Oh, now, wait a minute. That sounds like you were saying goodbye.
I am, really. I mean, I wouldn't presume to think that this could...
I don't believe it. You think that I'm the kind of a woman who plays one-night stands? That I'm some cheap broad? Mister, you've been seeing too damn many movies.
Mona.
What the hell am I doing? I love you, Artie. Don't let me go out this door. It's lonely out there.
I won't, Mama. Not even if you wore my suit and my pajamas.
So do you remember all that?
Now I do. And I remember thinking, wow, that really came out of left field.
First she's happy, then she's angry with him and insulted, and then she steps out the door and then she's like, I love you. Like, it was so wild and crazy. I think like they just really they didn't know how to wrap this up.
Kind of like how we can't wrap this up.
No, we're having the same hard
We're all
time.
struggling. They were struggling, the writers, and we are struggling.
Yeah, this one kind of like really threw me. I had such high hopes. I think that was my problem. I had such high hopes for it, and I wasn't prepared. And it just left me kind of feeling kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because before you know it, we're leaving. Mm-hmm. And again, like I said, Julie is now ready to like leave the ship with these two dudes for, a 3-way pizza party. Wasn't that insane?
It was weird. I just like, again, it threw me for a loop where I thought it was going and then it wasn't going there.
Yeah, because then she's paying for these guys. She likes these guys after all this.
Yeah, like after what they did to her. I mean, I guess they weren't terrible, but it was just like...
Dude, Julie's dark.
I know.
Julie is a dark person deep down. She has a lot of issues, and it's like we don't know exactly what she's all about. We got to keep our eye on Julie now. It's like I still like her just as much, but there's a lot more going on with her, and I think we've seen that after this episode for sure.
Absolutely. They're all going to Chasen's.
Who?
The captain, Isaac, Mona, and the mechanic.
Oh, that's right, because the mechanic was telling them where they're going because he's the man now, and he's like taking charge.
Right.
And she kind of likes that because I guess that's what she always wanted.
Now, we're all meeting Saturday night at Chasen's for dinner, right?
I wouldn't miss it. Wait till I tell my mom I'm having dinner with Mona Maxwell.
Oh, no. You tell your mom you're having dinner with Barty D'Angelo and his girl.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Artie.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Meryl.
Good luck, Artie.
But they're going to be so happy, though, and you should be happy for them because, like, he is, like, again, making a good living, and he'll be able to buy, like, back then, Lakers tickets, probably season tickets, were not all crazy expensive. It probably was affordable for a guy like that. And they're going to have a lot of fun eating, like, hot dogs and pretzels and...
Hope they make it.
Yeah, like a beer. And then Julie will be living with her two husbands
That's
somewhere.
already like a sitcom.
This episode was insane.
It was a difficult one.
Yeah, I started off saying I liked it. Now I don't know what I think about this episode.
See?
Yeah, this one was rough. This one was very strange.
Well, we can only hope that next week's is better. I did kind of see one of the guests next week.
Who is this?
Bert Convy.
Oh, Bert Convy.
So I don't know what it's going to entail, but he was the first one flashed in the porthole.
I like Bert Convy.
Me too. So hopefully it'll kind of make up for this little confusing episode.
Yeah, you guys, what'd you think of this one? I mean, what'd you make of this episode? I mean, there were some cool things. Again, like the topics and things like that were kind of cool. And then it had some stuff that I really liked. Again, Captain being all starstruck. And, oh, I know the one thing I wanted to say, and I completely forgot.
His disco dancing?
No. The one thing I wanted to say is when the mechanic, I believe, and this Mona, they had reconciled and they were like making out on the dance floor and stuff like that in front of everybody. The captain's looking on fondly with Doc, and he's like, it looks like love to me. And then Doc said,
That's nice.
Looks like love to me. Good old ship, you've done it again.
this good old ship did it again. And then I was like, I'm out of my mind. We're lunatics. Because we have talked about how the ship is magic.
That's true.
And he basically summed that up.
You're
and
right.
Said,
I forgot. I did catch that, and I forgot about it.
And that's the thing. He said he attested it to the good old ship, meaning that the ship has this power.
Mm-hmm.
And that we said that many, many episodes ago. And I think that bears out our theory that the ship is special.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
I do.
All right, now I'm changing my mind. I think this episode is a great episode.
You're just like D'Angelo. Or more like Mona in that scene.
Why?
So many emotions in one episode coming from you.
So true. I'm up, I'm down, I'm unstable. Oh, my God. All right, well, we both thank you guys for being here and apologize for our unstable behavior on this episode. Curious to see if you guys liked it. And you guys, also, part of my dementia is that this time of year is my busiest time of year. I've mentioned in the past that I perform. Most of the concerts that I do are for kids and for families. And I have started doing that, and it starts to tweak my mind and cause me to go in a million different directions, emotionally and otherwise, and physically, to places that I don't know where they are. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, make sure that you check out my website, istvansongs.com. I think it's always in the description. I think I'm trying to put that information out there. But to see if you have children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whatever, you got a kid who lives next door, I may be playing near you. So check my concert dates, or if you are familiar with the Bands in Town app, there's all different ways. On Spotify, my profile has my show dates, and it's posted in many different places. So it would be great if someone from the Love Boat podcast came up after a show, introduced themselves. It would be fantastic. So be sure to check my website, istvansongs.com, and look for show dates. See if I'm playing somewhere near you this summer or fall. And if so, come out and say hi. And I guess until next time, I am Istvan.
I'm Michelle.
Captain Stubing, please come to the bridge.
And we are
Lovin' the
Loveboat.
Loveboat.